The Betway Premiership log leaders Kaizer Chiefs tomorrow, they will be taking on Mamelodi Sundowns in what is expected to be a mouth-watering clash at the FNB Stadium. Now, despite buying out of the MTN8 competition last weekend, Amakhosi have started their Betway Premiership season on a positive note, recording wins in both their opening matches. Meanwhile, for Mamelodi Sundowns, they scored in the dying minutes of their clash against TS Galaxy in their first encounter of the season in the league last week. We have now roped in today to give us a preview of what to expect out at the FNB Stadium tomorrow. Former Mamelodi Sundowns captain, legend Hlompho Kekana. Hlompho, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on Sports on Morning Live.
Good morning, Wasiwe. Thanks for having me. Let me greet your viewers as well.
And we absolutely love the Hlompho Kekana Wall of Fame behind you there, just speaking to all your achievements at Mamelodi Sundowns. But Hlompho, let's talk to tomorrow. Talk to me about how you think Kaizer Chiefs have started this season. Yes, they've bowed out of the MTN8, but when you look at their league form, 2 out of 2 wins, currently sitting top of the table. What do you make of their start to the season?
I think it's a great start when you look at the team. Where they come from in the last 5 years. There's a team that is trying to improve the product every year. They've won 2 out of 2, as you mentioned, which is a plus for me when you continue to score goals. In the last match, they scored 3 goals. In this match, they scored 2 goals. So that tells you that they are good in department, and I think they can improve from there. Still early in the season. You want to see your strikers scoring goals, and I'm happy that they get goals from different personnel.
Absolutely. You look at them opening their campaign with a 3-1 victory against newcomers in the Betway Premiership, Kruger United, and then securing that 2-0 victory against Kukuna United, who are coming in from hot form from their MTN8 victory against AmaZulu. But let's talk about Coach Fernando de Cruz. What do you make and how do you assess how he's setting up the team and how he wants them to play?
I see a lot of freedom in how he gives the players, especially the attacking players, where you see young Fudo Vilagasi drifting apart, drifting inside, where he allows Monyane to come and overlap, and as well as young Partman. He's a number 10 or 8, but he plays on the wing. He's allowed to come inside as well, to come and form this funnel in front of the goal. So I see a team that is very, very flexible in attack. I think they still need to improve in terms of defending, but the midfielders as well, they need to make sure that they find the right partnership, because in the last match they played the Tanzanian guy with Mabowe, and they changed to Ndlovu and Mabowe. So in the last match against Kukune, they started in Tetwa and Mabowe. So they need to find a spine that is very solid, that they can rely on the whole season, because once you change the midfielders, then it destabilizes the last line of defense, which is the 2 center-backs. So you don't want to expose the 2 center-backs early in the season. So you want to have 2 midfielders that you can rely on. And I think the coach needs to make sure that he works out on that.
Let's then move on and speak about their opponents tomorrow. Looking at Mamelodi Sundowns, they were really made to sweat it out for their 3 points against TS Galaxy. But the question is more on the defense. They have conceded 4 goals in 2 games, and 3 of those goals were from set pieces. Perhaps a cause for concern for Coach Miguel Cardoso as well as his troops when you look at those goals they conceded, looking at the MTN8 as well, and now in that league fixture against Galaxy.
Yeah, funny enough, they managed to break that stigma that they have in playing TS Galaxy, especially in Bombera. They never won in the last 5 games. That is a difficult space for them. So yeah, they had to win. They had to make sure that they come out of that place with a win. You're very right. They had to leave it and take it at the end, which is something that was coming, especially in this beginning of the season, where I always call it the pre-season at the end of it, where players are not really fit. They're still coming out of the pre-season. So if you look at the knockout stages or the knockout competition that we're coming out of, 3 of the matches were decided in this extra time. That tells you that the fitness level is not up to the level that is at. So yeah, the players they are trying so hard to make sure that they improve the product. The experience of Mamelodi Sundowns to come out of that match victorious, I think it's a plus going into this match where you're playing against the local leaders, a team that is right now free-flowing in terms of scoring goals. So you want to make sure that you give them the performance.
And I mean, you speak about Mamelodi Sundowns being able to dig deep. This is why they're the African champions. But we also speak about the reinforcements made by Sundowns for this current season. Talk to me about that, because we see the return of Cassius Mailula. We're seeing Antonio van Wyk as well with Masandawana. And it was also lovely to see Khulise back into the starting 11 of Mamelodi Sundowns, also being able to find goals.
I think they needed that firepower front, especially when you speak about Antonio and Cassius, two different players, but with the same ambitions of scoring goals for the club. You can tell even when Cassius came back in the first match against Polokwane City, the only thing that he has in mind is to score goals, and he managed to score that goal. Antonio as well. So you need that variety of players that can give you either they can play in both flanks, and they've got that capability of doing that. Tomorrow it will be a big challenge against Kaizer Chiefs, where they will be needing the strikers more, which is the attackers more. When you play in Calabash, it's not easy. It's always a difficult environment, but I see Mamelodi Sundowns, they've got a bunch of players that they've been playing together in the last 5 years. So that is a plus. I think they're coming into this match with a little bit of an upper hand. So they will make sure that they stick to what they know in making sure that they play like African champions, like you mentioned in Calabash, because it's not an easy environment.
Not an easy environment at all, actually. Khulise coming off the bench, rather, for Mamelodi Sundowns in that last game against TS Galaxy. Hlompho, let me then put you on the spot in terms of which way you think it's going to go tomorrow. I know you're going to be there, touchline with the SABC as well, building up to the game. Do you see an Amakhosi victory, a Sundowns victory, or perhaps will we see a share of the spoils?
This one, I see it... Mamelodi Sundowns will take it 1-0 there.
1-0. Tell us who the goal scorer will be.
After what Khulise has done, I fancy Marcelo Allende to score this time around.
All right, very interesting. Former Mamelodi Sundowns captain, not surprised at all by his prediction. Of course, he was always going to go the way of Masandawana. He says it will be Marcelo Allende who will find the back of the net for Mamelodi Sundowns against Kaizer Chiefs tomorrow. You can, of course, catch that encounter. It will be live on SABC 1 with the build-up starting at 1:30 p.m. So it's an hour and a half of build-up, building up to Kaizer Chiefs up against Mamelodi Sundowns.